Hey everybody, thanks for tuning back in. I have another process video for you guys. This is December Daily 2019. In this video, I'll be documenting stories the 15th all the way to the 20th. Starting off with the 15 here, I have a 4x6 of our Christmas lights on the house, and I have two 3x4s. One 3x4 photo is the movie Bad Moms. I don't know if I watched it at this day or I received it, but that is going to definitely be a movie on my must watch every year, since there is a part two, which is all about Bad Moms for Christmas or something. And so, what better movie than to place those two on my list? They are hilarious. And then moving to that other 3x4 photo, it is of my toddler and his Christmas PJs. Here I am placing my vellum numbers here on the 4x6 photo. Yeah, guys, I am struggling with these vellum numbers, but at this point, I'm just like committed just to keep that cohesiveness throughout the entire album. So I'm going to keep poking along using these vellum numbers. Initially, I thought I would do this big label, but it just was overwhelming, a bit too much for me, so I decided to go with these little December labels that are from the Candy Coated Christmas by Tracy Redesign, the stickers, and I love the way that looks a lot better. And that also gives me the idea that I'm going to pull out some stamp sentiments to fit on those labels, and I'm going to continue that throughout this one page layout to provide that cohesiveness for this spread. On the 4x6 photo, I placed Twinkle on that stamp sentiment for the red one, and here in this black one it says tradition, since it's going to be a tradition for me, and then just pajamas for my toddler, and that pretty much completes story number 15. It's a little bit of randomness here and there. I do lose a 4x6 photo of our stockings, and I find it here in the middle of story 16, but I'm gonna add it into story 15, and you'll see that in the final flip through what I'm referring to. I'm just gonna place a tab behind that 4x6 so that way it's able to get pulled out, since I really didn't want to show that photo anyways. Alright, you guys, I'm moving to story 16, and it's a picture, two pictures of my middle child and the activities he does with his advent calendar at school. So all the way up until the winter break, I think there's like 10 to 12 days left of school, and so they do like a Christmas theme advent calendar, and I only got two photos of him regarding some of the activities that he got to do. One of these years I want to make sure that I get to document all 10 to 12 things, because by the time he goes to middle school, which my older child is already in middle school, they don't do any of that. So I want to make sure to be able to document that at least once. I created a flap since he was wearing a Santa hat that happens to have lights on it. So although the lights are not really that flattering, since it shows him in a really bright red glare, I still wanted to include the flap. And on the screen you saw that I was debating for a green card, which probably would have matched better. I just loved this pink card so much more, so as long as he does not see it and kill me for using pink on his layout, I don't know, I just love this collection so much. It's so pink and pastel, which I never thought I would lean toward, but as you can see, as I'm documenting each of these stories, I'm loving it. Moving to this 4x6 card here, I'm going to be placing two different labels that are from the collection. The bigger label has these cute peppermints, and then I grabbed a green label. This is where I'm going to be placing my numbers for story 16. I'm still using the tiny attacher to adhere them, and I'm going to call that good. So that's the photo that I was referring to that I was looking for. I had misplaced it here, and it doesn't really go with the story that I'm sharing here. But since story 15 kind of had a randomness to it, I'm just going to turn it around and place a tab, so that way there is somewhere documenting our stockings. I was supposed to do a before and after. I remember telling myself that, when they're hung up before, and then all of them stuffed with all the goodies, but I forgot. So I'm just going to place a tab and call that done. I pulled out a mint green colored label, and then just stamped out school advent calendar, placed a heart on that other 3x4 photo, and I'm going to call story 16 complete. Moving to the right side here, that is a pattern paper from the collection, and I just printed it out on vellum, and I love the way that is a soft separation between the stories. Here is story number 17, and it's just documenting our ornaments of that year, the new ornaments, which is just the boys' initials for their first name. And I love the way that turns out, and I'm so happy with that card that I did my journaling on. It was originally a 4x6, also from the pattern paper collection, Candy Coated Christmas. And I just went ahead and added the numbers on top of the ornaments, which you can hardly tell, but you can see it in real life, I promise. And then I placed a sticker from LA Studio, and I think it says, "Love this tradition." After this year, we started letting the boys pick their own, but I'm so thankful that we did get to pick these since we did have a new addition, our toddler, so they were each able to get the same style of ornament with their initials, not completely different ones. Day 18 already had got done, I think, back last year, so I just placed the number there. Since I knew this is where I was placing it, I just hadn't placed the number yet, and that's just documenting our wrapping paper. I will go into further detail when I do the full flip through when I'm completely done with this album. Alright, you guys, I'm moving to story 19, which is actually Christmas Eve. So I pull out a label here, and then I'm going to pull out a circle. This is when I guess, feel the groove of documenting in a batch system. You get into the groove and you get more inspired by each layout that you do. I did not want to stop. When I stopped at 20, I still wanted to keep on going. I started getting more creative. So I don't know, do you work in batch sessions and get more creative as, each of the pocket pages or your layouts flow through? You just kind of get a rhythm. That's totally how I felt. And I really thought this full page photo would be hard to decorate, or what would I place on here, but I actually had fun pulling out these cardstock stickers from LA Studio and kind of just filling them up on the blank spaces. So I pulled out that circle sticker, and it just said "'Twas the night before Christmas" because it was Christmas Eve, so that was perfect. And for Christmas Eve, I actually have 3 different stories that I want to share, but I think I'm only going to do 2 numbers. So for Christmas, this full page photo of all the kids, and the Traveler's Notebook size photo there on the right, it's going to be story number 19. And then when you flip that Traveler's Notebook pattern paper, it's going to be story 20, which was still on Christmas Eve. I think, if memory serves right, I'm gonna have a total of 25 stories for this album, which is perfect for me. Some years I'm gonna have more, and some years I'm gonna have less. It all just depends on the memories that surface. There in the back of that Traveler's Notebook pattern paper, it is actually a stencil that's from the Candy Coated Christmas line, and I, off camera, placed a ton of different washi tapes that were in my stash that were all Christmas themed, and just I had so much fun doing that. I'm not the original creator of that. I've seen many Christmas albums, and I just thought that would be great. I can't even think of a time when I really pulled out my washi tape and used it in such a way, or that much. You guys, I feel like I hoard and store. I collect washi tape more than actually use it. That's probably a crime, I know. Comment down below and let me know if you just collect washi tape or you actually use it. And if you do, how? What is your go-to technique or method for using washi tape? Because I just had so much fun using washi tape for my little trees there on that stencil. Alright, I'm done, I think, placing most of the stickers and the embellishments here on the 2 that full page photo in the Traveler's Notebook. Here I was just trying to remember what number this story is going to be labeled. So let me get that done really quick here, and then it's going to be story number 19. I did have to use adhesive regular liquid glue because I already adhere these 2 photos together, so I couldn't staple because then it will show up on the photo. Alright, you guys, I am so excited for this story right here because I originally wanted to do a shaker 3x4 pocket further down in my album, and then I got the idea to do it sooner, so I'm going to do a total of 2. So this is basically my practice run, and I love the way this turns out. So basically I got a page protector, and it's going to be bigger than a 3x4, so that way I can still put them within the rings. I got a sheet of acetate, and then I'm going to adhere these 2 3x4 cards within the acetate, so kind of sandwiching the acetate, so that way I can do a shaker bit at the same time, but I also don't want the cards to kind of like just kind of like stay, I want it to stay in place. I want it to float there in the center. Does that make sense? I didn't perfectly align it, and I tried to fix it, but we're just gonna let it go because we gotta let it go. So, and this is in regards to the back side of that traveler's notebook pattern photo. So, and you'll see here when I bring it back in, this photo. This is a photo of my toddler opening the gifts that my sisters got him. I just love the fact that my sister put so much thought into it, just with the fact that she did not washi tape. The wrapping paper was Night Before Christmas. You guys, they know me. If you can't tell, my husband's even wearing the shirt I got him, which was also Nightmare Before Christmas. That's just a small story that I wanted to take note and remember, and that's why I did this pocket, so that way when you flip it over you can see the journaling, and I make note of that. So here I am adding in my shaker bits here, and this is where I determined that I wanted to add some gold into my album, since the washi tape that I picked on that stencil had some gold in it. So I'm adding in some more stars, because the more the merrier, you guys. I had so much fun creating this. I think I hated having to stop. I was like, you know what, I'm going to keep moving. I'm going to keep poking along until this album is done. This was so much fun to do, and I will be pulling in my fuse tool. Now, before starting story 20, I did connect my fuse tool. You need to give it roughly between 10 to 15 minutes for it to heat up. I'm gonna tell you right now, mine only needs like maybe 5 minutes. And when I first put it down on the page protector, it melts the thing. It got so hot so fast. So I don't need 15 minutes to heat it up. I don't know who does, but that, yeah, 5 minutes warming up is all it needs anymore, and it's just gonna burn the page protector. And I did make sure to cut the acetate even smaller, so that way it's not in the way of that's where it burned right through. Like, you had to just be really, really light. Yeah, that was crazy, but it's so fun to make these pocket shakers here. So I did place some sequins on the top with the first card, and since the acetate is in between the two, it wouldn't have gone to the back, so I made sure to put some on the top card and underneath. I hope that made sense. I love the way this turned out. Alright, I'm placing it in the album now. That it came out so cute. I had so much fun. I had to keep playing with it. And I love how when you place that Traveler's Notebook photo on top of it, it doesn't reveal itself just yet, so it doesn't distract from story number 19, and it still gives that stencil with the washi tape some time to shine. Alright, you guys, I'm giving that flip through of story 15 through the 20th, and here is that flap. I love how each story turned out and how fast they whipped up, and I had so much fun getting these stories documented, and I hope you stick around to see the future videos of the last 5 stories that I have to document in this album before I can call it complete. You guys, I had just way too much fun doing that shaker, and I can't wait to do the next one. Alright, you guys, if you liked this video, don't forget to hit that like button and to subscribe to see more videos like this. As always, thanks for watching. Until next time, bye guys.